Vitalica. Light the way.
Today, we're going to talk about a single health marker that tells a much bigger story than you might think. It's called ferritin. Now, you might have heard of it when talking about iron, but honestly, it's a critical piece of the puzzle for your overall health, and understanding it could be the key to some of your biggest wellness questions. So let me ask you something. Does any of this sound familiar? That feeling of being constantly tired, where even a strong coffee doesn't help, or that brain fog that just makes it impossible to focus? Maybe it's those random joint pains you just brush off as part of a busy life. We usually blame stress or not getting enough sleep, but what if something else is going on? Well, it turns out the answer to these really frustrating vague symptoms could be hiding in plain sight. It's tucked away in a specific lab result that gives us huge clues about what's happening inside our bodies. Think of it like a silent messenger, and it's about time we learn to speak its language. So, first up, let's start decoding what this silent messenger is actually trying to tell us. Ferritin isn't just another number on your lab report, not at all. It's truly a critical piece of the puzzle. And if you ignore it, you could be overlooking some vital information about everything from your nutrient stores to hidden inflammations simmering under the surface. And that brings us to maybe the most important part of this whole explainer, ferritin's surprising double life. Okay, so at its most basic level, ferritin is an iron storage protein. It's basically your body's iron bank, holding on to iron reserves inside your cells until you need them. So when a doctor checks your ferritin, what they're really checking is the size of your iron savings account. And this slide makes a really important distinction. Think of it like this. Serum iron, that's the iron floating around in your blood, is like cash in your wallet. It's ready for immediate use. But ferritin, that's the money you have in your savings account, safely tucked away. You absolutely need both, but they tell very different stories about your your physical health. And here it is, this is the big reveal. Ferritin isn't just about iron, it's also an inflammatory marker. So when your body is dealing with inflammation or oxidative stress, your ferritin levels can shoot up, even if your actual iron stores are totally normal. This is that secret signal, that hidden function that makes it such an incredibly powerful diagnostic tool. So what happens when this signal is flashing red, either because it's way too high or way too low? Let's break down what that actually feels like. Okay, take a good look at these two lists. On the left, you have high ferritin, which can cause stuff like joint pain and fatigue. And on the right, low ferritin, which can cause brain fog and weakness. Notice anything? Chronic fatigue is on both sides. And so many of these symptoms are super vague, which is exactly why they get dismissed as just stress, a problem that's especially common for women dealing with low ferritin. Okay, so feeling the symptoms is one thing, but understanding the why behind them, well, that's where you can actually start making progress. So let's dig into the potential root causes. High ferritin is often a sign that the body is under some kind of stress. If you look at this list, the causes can range from chronic inflammation and liver issues to metabolic syndrome. And sometimes it's as simple as just taking too many iron supplements. But one of the biggest causes of high ferritin is actually a genetic condition called hemochromatosis, where your body just absorbs way too much iron. And what's wild is that this is one of the most common genetic conditions in the world. That's why if you have high ferritin, it's a really good idea for your close relatives to get tested too. Now, for low ferritin, the causes are often related to blood loss, from things like heavy periods or internal bleeding, or just poor absorption from gut issues like celiac disease. This is exactly why it's so important to not just treat the number, but to figure out why it's low in the first place. Okay, so we've identified the problems and the potential causes. Now for the most important part. How in the world can we restore that balance? This is actually pretty brilliant. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to lower high ferritin is donating blood. Seriously, when you donate blood, your body has to dip into its iron savings account, your ferritin stores, to make new red blood cells. And that process directly and effectively brings your ferritin levels down. And here's a great pro tip. If you need to do this regularly, it's often better to donate as a standard volunteer instead of for a prescribed medical reason. This can help you avoid getting flagged in donation databases, which just makes future donations a whole lot smoother. And of course, we can't forget about nutrition. Since we now know that high ferritin can be a sign of inflammation, it makes total sense that your diet is key. Inflammatory foods can actually drive ferritin up, while a nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory diet can help your body find its natural balance again. So the crucial takeaway here is this. Ferritin is so much more than just an iron marker. It's a window into your body's core functions, your iron metabolism, your inflammation levels, and even your liver health. Paying attention to it is a really powerful way to advocate for your own well-being.
At the end of the day, those vague symptoms of fatigue, pain, and brain fog, they might not be something you just have to live with. They're signals. Your body is talking to you. And now that you know what ferritin is trying to tell you, the real question is, are you ready to listen?